Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Hey, it's Will.
And this is Thomas.
And this week worked out great because we're covering a Batman 400 issue today, and it is Batman Day.
Yeah, it's kind of worked out weird.
Yeah, it's like, do this. Okay. I just realized it today, which kind of depressed me because, it's just another Batman Day that I don't go out to a store and get like a whole bunch of free Batman stuff. But
yeah, I saw it this morning and I was like, dang it. But I had already made plans to like really be lazy here at the house.
Hey, you need that.
I know. That's what the wife tells me. I played Zelda earlier this morning, and then for the rest of the day, I've been lazy. I did read our Batman 400 again. I've read it a couple times in the past.
Yeah, I read it when it came out, and I probably have it in there somewhere, but since nothing is organized.
Yeah, I know I've got 2 copies. I've got the one I bought when it first came out, and then years later, I wanted a really, really nice one just to have, and I bought another one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know I've got a couple copies of it. But it's probably been 20 years since I've read it. Some of it's really stuck in my brain, though. I remembered a lot of it from reading it. We'll get to that later, though. Right now, we're in show and tell phase.
Show and tell, it's the pre-show. Well, big shout out to Tommy Hull over at World of War Comics, who just launched his Kickstarter for issue 2, and I was actually backer number 1. He did a thing with a bunch of toy collectors because he's a huge worshiper of the Todd Father, and he spends way more money than his wife knows on toys. Sorry, Tommy. He already got busted because he had to have a pretty serious operation about a month or so ago. And his office, he works from home, goes into work like at the office like 2 days a week, and then does 3 days a week, works from home.
Yeah.
And his office is at the front of the house. So when packages get delivered, he sees them on his ring monitor in his office, and he goes out there and scuffles him into his office quick before his wife can see what's going on. And well, one day he was taking a nap, and he heard, "What the hell is this?" Uh-oh. Hey, Alan. Happy Batman Day. But he did that show, and he had like 6 or 7 figures to give away. So I was waiting to tune in at 9. I forgot he's on the ugly West Coast, and 9 a.m. means 12 noon to the rest of us. So
Exactly.
But
so you got your dead man.
I got a dead man, which is awesome because this is gonna look really good next to my Kingdom Come dead man. So
yeah, it's a really nice figure.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Of course, I popped mine out of the box. I just wish the only thing that really irks me with that figure, and I've got to buy one. It doesn't come with a stand, like a flying stand.
Yeah, and it should.
I mean, and it should, because I mean he doesn't stand. Dead man doesn't stand. He flies.
Yeah.
Or floats. He really doesn't even fly.
He's like Ali used to be. He floats around. He doesn't sting. He just takes over your body and makes you do stupid stuff.
Oh,
and then I got a ginormous box of comics from Thomas.
Hopefully you liked them.
Yes. He got me my Fire and Ice issue 1.
Oh yeah. I forgot that.
And a few days ago, Kickstarter so graciously yanked $75 out of my account to buy the Fire and Ice game. which means one year Thomas will have to come up north again and sit down and play Fire and Ice. And I got this cool free comic book day book.
The Frazetta-verse.
The Frazetta-verse, yeah.
I wonder if they're going to try and do like a whole kit and caboodle thing with that, but I'm not sure.
Neither am I. This, however, these next four are going back on my stack to read probably this week.
Oh yeah, I sent you those, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all doubles I had.
Yeah, and these are just, oh, what a story.
Yeah, dude, Born Again's amazing. The Maz is amazing.
Oh, yeah. And I got a cool Adventure Comics 447.
Yeah, that was a double.
With Aquaman, and there's a cool backup in the back with the Creeper. So that's going with the Daredevil, so I got to read that. And he sent me a cool, very sexy Black Widow.
Yes. Now that's actually there's a couple extra parts of that story. We need to do it one day. That's a George Perez Black Widow story. It's pretty awesome.
And
yeah, I didn't know. I saw that and thought of you.
Yeah, I think I've got one, but now I've got one that I can leave out and read. And this cover of FF is just insane from 2001.
Yeah.
That's great. Because I would have liked to kill Galactus today while I was playing the card game on my the Marvel Snap game on my phone. Some X Factor. A Challenges of the Unknown. Those were fun.
Had Swamp Thing in it.
A book about me. Looks more like Rob Zombie. Some cool older issues of Doctor Strange.
Excuse me, y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I keeping you awake?
No.
Probably.
It's my age.
Oh, that's right. You're on the downhill sway. That's a cool looking cover, though.
Yeah. I think those were Marshall Rogers issues, which we'll bitch about that in a minute.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
And this is cool because I did not have this one.
Which one?
This Micronauts issue with Man Thing.
Oh yeah, I picked it up because it had Man Thing, and I know you like the Micronauts.
Yeah, because every time I've picked up Micronauts here and there on like auctions.
Yeah.
Like when they're cheap. This one always goes up to like, $12, $15. If it's like, a 9.0, a greater copy. And most of it is just people speculating because, Man Thing showed up on the Werewolf show on D+.
Yeah.
And great
You
shot
said you wanted one of those.
Yeah, great shot of Angel. I actually got him in the Strike Force Marvel mobile game, and he's my favorite character to use because since he was named Death, the Angel of Death, that's what he does in the game. He kills people dead.
Oh Lord.
He's got like 3 basic moves. His most powerful one is, and they've got like all the flying motions and everything in. So he'll fly around somebody, come around the other side, and then just basically impale them on one of the wings, tossing their cadaver up in the air, and then spins in a circle, hits them with the other wing, and knocks them off the screen dead.
Did I send you the thing for the article by Louise Simonson where she talks about making Archangel and why she did it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because she made the character, created the Archangel in her X-Men X Factor run,
Mm-hmm.
and I read it, and she basically just comes out and says that they hated Angel
Oh
as
yeah,
a character.
he was.
Uh,
They were. Yeah, I remember hearing stuff about how they hated him because he was useless. He just flies around.
Yeah, he
Can't-
flies around. He flies around. He's a pretty rich boy. Ladies' man who really has no problems. They're like he just has nothing to pull against him, nothing that makes him an exciting character. So they take it all away from him and make him a freaking monster. And then they're like, we like him. Like, oh my god! But I mean, that's.
Oh, I remember my jaw dropping when I saw that image of his feathered wings ripped off.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I mean, I bought the whole second half of the Defenders run because Angel was in it, and he's always been my favorite X-Men.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's why
because everybody needs somebody that can scout the enemy camp.
Yeah.
And he's basically got eagle eyes and flies. What's wrong with that? And of course, the hardcover Killing Joke that Thomas picked up for me that has a bunch of stuff never before seen.
Yes.
And
I've got to read it still.
We're gonna go through this and read it, and there's like a backup story in here. And there's like a Brian Boland afterward article that he wrote, and then there's like a whole backup story that looks really cool.
I have not read that in years.
And I think I like it more because in the backup story, he's driving the 1940s Batmobile.
Dang it.
It's actually in there. And then, because I've been trying to get my hands on some of these, a big fat stack of Neil Adams continuity comics books. Even though he's been gone for a while now, his daughter still runs his Instagram sales page.
Yeah.
And she's been, I guess, slowly but surely selling all her dad's stuff. Like once a week.
God.
Once a week, she goes live and like all the tens of thousands of like signed books and original art, from pencils and inks to colors, whatever. And I guess he used to, in his younger days, used to sit and sign like thousands of prints a day. Just so they were all prepped up to go to like any given show, so they could box them up and have them ready, and they were labeled out for shows. But I got to put these in order, and then I got to put them into my CLZ app so I know which ones I'm missing. Hybrids, which is funny because there's been a bunch of books called Hybrids. This one's guest starring Valeria the She-Bat and the Werebreds. Matter of fact, my friend Luke Stone, who's an indie creator, he has a book called The Hybrids, and it was inspired by Chris Claremont's like X-Men, but it's all original characters and everything. Then we have they had like two big like crossover events in the universe. So one was Death Watch was the first one.
So I'd never even heard of some of that stuff.
I heard a lot of people online complaining about this stuff because, he might have done like the covers or whatever, but had, Hobby did any of the interiors of anything.
He did them on some now. I've got a few of the ones he did the interiors on, I've found.
Yeah, he did them on some, but then he started like, bringing people in to do them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you mean like people like Greg Capullo, who did the majority of Todd McFarlane's Spawn runs. On a rare occasion now, Todd might actually do a cover here and there.
But now, see, the thing with that too is like, Todd's actually so busy running the company. I'm amazed he has time to do anything.
Oh yeah, and he just brought back like the football starting lineup. He just solicited for like the first 4 figures for the NFL figures again.
Dang.
And this Crazy Man, there's an ad for Crazy Man on the back of the book I just showed, and Crazy Man is basically the creeper of continuity comics.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I love that character. And we have some Captain Power.
Excuse me. I saw that.
And I was like, this is one of the most popular characters because, women are usually more popular than guys. Miss Mystic.
Yes.
And some Megalith. These all had like cool covers, and it was like a weird coloring process they did because it was like, very intensive coloring.
How many issues was it? Do you remember? Did you count them out?
No, I'll count them out in a second. That won't take me too long.
And I know we were talking about it afterwards. I didn't realize that company had run for 12 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't just a fly-by-night.
No, but a lot of books were intermittent. They come out here and there because he had so many other jobs to do between, Marvel and DC plus his own.
Oh yeah. And then he was doing the Tarzan covers and all, he did some Conan covers.
Mm-hmm.
For the trades, not the trades, but the paperback books themselves.
Yeah, the novels.
For Daw, I think it was, because I've got all the most of the Tarzan ones. They had the black ring around them.
And some of these are really thick books too. There's some crazy things.
Weird art.
And then it's got an ad on the back for Rise of Magic, which was the second big crossover they did.
Huh.
And another issue of Crazy Man. So, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. $30.
That's a chunk.
Yeah. So that's oh, there they are. I'm like, where'd I put my eyes? So yeah, that's pretty close to 60 or 70% of the whole run right there.
Well, I didn't get hardly anything this week. I snagged it real cheap online. We actually did this issue 2 weeks ago, and I did not have a real one because I had the stupid True Believers reprint that I read.
Mm-hmm.
But I managed to snag a Miss Marvel number 20 first.
Oh, nice.
Because I wanted one. And then I can't remember. I don't think it was last week. I think I got it last week. I went to a local con. Did I tell you that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, it wasn't even a con. I went to a local comic book shop last Saturday, and it was their anniversary. So they had a little convention set up. And it was a good comic book shop. I've been once before, and this is the second time I went. But So they had a local, they had like a little local convention up. They had a bunch of, I guess local to that area, South Georgia artists in there and some other stuff. And they had a big drawing. They were giving away prizes. The news was there for Albany, Georgia. And went in there and I got a chance to meet and talk with Jason Flowers, who is doing
Oh yeah.
he's doing the covers for the Last Ronin Lost Rights. He said he's doing all the next 5 issues. He's doing all the covers. So I got one and he signed it for me. There, right there. 23.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool guy. So then I bought a whole bunch of stuff and I bought a blind bag and I got out to the car and he said, look, I got their gift certificates and some other stuff in it. So just check, let us know what you get. And I told the wife, I said, well, it's about an hour to get there. So I said, well, I may not be back for a while. So let's see what I got. If it's a gift certificate, we'll go back in and buy some more stuff. So I opened it up and I got a little blue piece of paper to win in there. And he's like, oh, you won you won like the grand prize or whatever, the door prize. They had it up front. And it was a full blank Jason Flowers cover for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's original art.
Nice.
So he drew it and that's it. I was like, oh crap, I've only been here like twice. And I go and I bought a ton of comics from him. And then I ended up getting, like I said, that's what they had up front for the wind shop. So I'm going to stick that over there and save it for a while. But I was kind of like, dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely go back. The prices are so good there. And the conditions of the books are crazy. I'll take some pictures and send them to you later on. But I mean, he prices the books. I don't want to say the prices he has on books would be 3 times higher in a larger city.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's buying them for a good price and then he's selling them for a good price.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've been there twice and I've enjoyed it both times.
He's not buying them to try to, get rich and gouge fans in a small town, but he's, making a couple bucks on them probably.
Well, that's the whole thing. You make your living, you make your buck, and if your prices are reasonable enough, people are going to come back and they're going to buy more. And you by theory, then you'll make more money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but yeah. I had to have some tea. But yeah, so I did sadly just finish reading this right before we started.
Yeah, I was still reading it because I was trying to do it, and my girlfriend went in like early to work today, and she got here like around. No, she had the day off actually, but I ate breakfast and conked right back out. She slept until 10, and then woke me up and had a whole thing going on with nursing, taking care of my leg, where they just, I'm going to come for 2. Okay. 20 minutes later, they just gave me another patient in this other town that I have to drive to, and they need to be seen immediately and blah, blah, blah. So I got pushed back to 4. And then 10 minutes of 5, I'm like, hello, but are you still coming to take care of my leg today? She's like, I just pulled in. Okay. So that was at 5, and her and I were watching like this new series on Netflix. And
anything good?
Yeah, it's what's it called? Who is Mrs. Carter, or not Gabe's wife? Whatever the first name is. I think it's Erin or something like that. Who is Erin Carter?
Okay, I'll have to look it up then.
There's it's been pretty good.
All right.
So speaking of good.
Batman 400.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is today being Batman Day, we're reading Batman 400. Did you notice that it's Batman's anniversary in the book?
Yes.
Yes. So this story takes place on supposedly the first day that Batman dresses up as Batman and goes out and fights crime. I know last time this is 400 from 86, and it's got the introduction by Stephen King. It was written by Munch, however you want to say it, and it's illustrated by Adams, Austin, Boland, Byrne, Cullens, Grell, Kaluta, Kessel, Kubert, Lehoya, Leonardi, Light, Malster, Patson, Prez, Rude, Sienkiewicz, Stacy, Sutton, Vilgram, and Wrightston. Okay, so it's got a huge list of creators in there.
Yeah.
And 10 of those creators do pinups in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll go over the pinups. But the thing that got me is this is 86, okay? And when you look at who was doing Batman in 86, why the hell isn't Aparo here? So the Aparo's not here. Rogers is not here. That's really the big ones that I was like, they're missing. Mm-hmm. They kind of just stuck out. Kind of like, blah. I mean, they don't have even, and I don't want to be ugly, even Frank Miller. This is 86. He wrote the greatest Batman story of all time in 86.
Yeah.
And Miller's nowhere.
Maybe he was still working on Dark Knight issues when this came out.
Could have been. All right. Now I know you said you did not read this.
No, I'm not a big fan of Stephen King. So.
Really?
Not as a writer, just as a person. I just don't like him.
Oh Lord. Well, he says, this is the why he chose Batman. He basically says he chooses Batman because Batman had, he had to struggle. It's not like Superman, where Superman's all super powerful alien and everything. Batman has, he can get the hell beat out of him. So, standard why Batman's better than Superman's story. But all right, Resurrection Night. The first story. Who illustrated the first story? Oh, John Byrne.
Yeah, it's the first chapter. It's one continuous story. It's just like every couple of pages they change creative teams.
Byrne did the first page, but that's it. Hmm. He does one page. So it's almost like a pinup. And this is actually foreshadowing, people. You see all the villains in the background, and there's Batman, Catwoman, Robin, and Talia, all in front of a windmill. But the story actually opens here, and this is illustrated by Steve Little and Patterson, Trading Darkness, and it opens at Arkham Asylum and the prison, Northgate. Was it Upstate Penitentiary? I thought it was Northgate Penitentiary, but that's the prison. Inside, we've got, see all of Batman's villains: Joker, Two-Face, Riddler, Killer Croc, all of them. Mm-hmm. What happened to Black Mask's face? Do you remember?
I think it got damaged underneath the mask.
Okay.
That's all I remember.
That's all you remember?
Because I don't actually have like his origin or anything.
I've read it. I've got it in when DC was doing the dollar reprints a while back. I bought one and I read it, and I remember it was really good. But I don't think it says in that origin issue that anything about his face. And then they say it here. He says his face is permanently marked by scars beneath the black mask. So I was just curious. But yeah, so all of his villains are there. And then we start noticing, and by the time we get to the second page, the Riddler's actually got a question here. He says, when is this going to happen? So eventually we discover as we read along that the villains are all waiting to be busted out of either the prison or the asylum. Mm-hmm. And they're literally waiting. I mean, freaking penguins, I can't wait. Just can't wait. And finally the explosions go off, and everyone gets let out of the prison while Batman is kind of sulking. He's back in the Batcave, and somebody has left him a damn message: "Know your foes."
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is Robin. This is the second Robin, people. This is Jason Todd. And he's asking him, hey, who left the message? He says, I don't know. It's a warning, but I don't know who it's from or which villains it's talking about or villain. And then we discover, literally just a couple pages in, it's all the villains. They haul ass. I guess the penitentiary and the asylum must be fairly close to each other,
Mm-hmm.
because they actually meet up at a single cave, and there in the cave are all of their costumes. And of course, the Joker's leading the bunch, and he's like, hey, just as the guy promised. So they're going to take out and follow and see where it leads. So
my only issue with this whole thing is, which is very uncharacteristic, even of Doug Mensch's writing.
Yeah.
Batman and Jason Todd Robin. Jason's like, screw this. I'm going upstairs to get some sandwiches from Alfie. And he's brooding in the cave because he's trying to figure out who got this note to him.
Yes.
Which we find out later. But then the explosion goes off, and you see everybody gathering in the woods, putting their costumes back on. And there's no bat phone ringing from Gordon's headquarters.
No, the phone doesn't ring until later in the issue.
I know, which is weird because some kind of red alert definitely alarms have to be going, like 6 alarm things have to be going, because they just blew up Blackgate and Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. I mean, they blew up both the damn prisons. Literally, you've got mass murderers running everywhere now. And he's damn brooding.
You've got every caped freak loose in the city. Every guy he's fought since, 1938, they're here and they're loose.
Except for the first 3 issues when he killed them.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this clown guy is very popular. Let's bring him back. Gary Robinson said he's mad because he didn't get to draw him yet. Okay, bring him back. And some of the greatest Joker covers ever.
Yeah.
But that bothered me that, they didn't get an alarm, and, they didn't feel a shock in the subterranean cave beneath Wayne Manor.
Nothing. I mean, yeah.
Nothing.
Because I know Wayne Manor's outside of the city, and Arkham Asylum and all that's outside of the city. I can't remember how close they are. And I know it moves based on writers,
mm-hmm.
but how close they are together, Yeah, nothing.
That's like, that whole thing to me is just stupid. That nothing happened here. And he finds out in like the next page or so, when somebody just strolls into his cave.
Well, now, see, that's the whole thing. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so that's the only thing I could think of now that we're talking about it. Perhaps, the alarms were actually severed. So that's why he doesn't know. That was all part of the plan. But I don't know.
The alarms might have been severed. And even if the phone lines went down, soon afterwards, somebody with a cell phone would have, well, they didn't have cell phones back in 86, so never mind.
Yeah.
But they had to be like a special, like, secure line to like the warden's office at like either, Blackgate or Arkham, like a special secured line that wouldn't go down with the rest of the other lines in case something like this were to happen.
You would think.
And that's about as stupid as this story that I heard yesterday about this guy that had to go in for an what's the machine that they lay you down, they slide you in to scan you with the dye in your body?
Yeah, MRI.
So this guy went in for an MRI, and he said he had no metal on him,
Oh, Jesus.
but inserted in himself was a silicone butt plug. Wait, it gets better. It's just silicone. Okay. Because they can see it. It had a metal core. And when they started spinning the wheel of the MRI, it pulled it up through his sternum.
Oh my God.
But
Did he
luckily they got a good picture of it because he was in the MRI machine. I don't know whether he lived or died, but apparently he was immediately rushed to the OR. So,
oh my God, craziness. All right, now
back to our regularly scheduled program.
back off the damn tangent wheel and back to the story. The Master Below. So here's I love all the villains are actually discussing to do this, and the Joker seems like he's the only one who really wants to find out what the hell's going on. Everyone else is like, no, dude, I've been busted out. I got my uniform, or half of them. Hell, I don't want to get locked up again. I've got other crap to do. I want to go see my family. I want to go, rob a bank. I've got whatever. They haul ass. The Joker's like, no, I want to go see what's going on. Yeah, come on, you two. Where's your sense of the absurd, the adventure? The next step holds all the fun, our mass escape, finding out who engineered it, and they're gone. Now, dude, I care nothing. Check out this dude. I care nothing about. I care about nothing but Nocturna and finding her somewhere in the night and slaying her. Dude, Nocturna and Batman had a thing in the day.
This whole thing gave a tip of the hat to the whole Nocturna thing that DC just basically went, fuck this, and wiped it out of existence.
Yeah.
None of this stuff happened. Whose idea was this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It was like, bedknop and broomsticks on crack that they bought from Hunter Biden. It was insane. I mean, I read it all and enjoyed it, but then they went back, and that's when they brought out the New Adventures of Batman comic.
Yeah.
Where he finds him once again trying to steal the hubcaps off his Batmobile.
Yes.
And then they went forward from there. So,
but I was like, oh my God, I liked the Nocturna issues. So half of the guys, Kite Man, some of the other dudes, they're like, Calendar Dude, I'm gone. And Killer Croc knocks the Joker down. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Let's find out. You talk too much. And this kind of got me to the whole, I just want to break Batman's back. That's all he talks about. The whole damn issue is breaking Batman's back.
Yeah. He must want to die so bad now that some no-name came in named Bane and did it before he could.
Yeah.
He is just plain up, Croc is plain up 100% savage in this whole book.
Yeah, he's pretty rough. I do not remember, and it's been I have not read the original Jason Todd stories in a while. I remember he always had an attitude and was kind of a little punk, but he keeps calling Alfred Alfie. And it was kind of like, I won't say getting on my nerves, but I'm like, dude, what the hell is up with you? And, he's up here trying to discuss with him over sandwiches that, why is Batman brooding? I don't know what he is, but, so many brilliant, he broods. So many brilliant minds wasted on crime, and he's tried to reform them. The only one he's been able to reform is Catwoman, and then he puts them behind bars and it never holds them for long. So that's why he's upset.
He's reformed Catwoman from time to time through the books, and this is my favorite version of Catwoman. More of like the Bronze Age version with with like the dress and the cat of nine tails and stuff. Later on, I became like a huge fan of Jim Balance Catwoman because the thigh high leather boots and the skin tight costume and the whip was just Ooh.
Dang it. I do love, so they finally get, the villains are all heading to this windmill outside, it's about a mile from the prison. So they don't go very damn far.
No.
And they get to the windmill. So, they're still in the vicinity, but I guess nobody's looking for them. I don't know, but they get here and they go down, and they're like, "Oh, it's a James Bond villain. We'll meet who it is." While good old Jason's there eating his sandwich. So the villains go down. They finally get there to meet the bad guy, and we discover that he has a plan, and he doesn't actually say what the plan is to the villain. He tells the villains, but we don't know what the plan is. It's told in between the panels so that the reader does not know what the hell's going to happen, which is cool because, we don't need to know what it is. Hell, we don't even know who the villain is. Now, we do find out in a minute who it is, but right here we don't know. So, so there we leave George Perez. Now we go to Paris Cullens and Larry Malstead. So this is Gordon's daughter, right?
No, this is Alfred's daughter. This is Julia
Oh
Pennyworth.
yeah, this is Alfred's daughter. I don't know why I said
at this time, Alfred's daughter was prevalent in the stories, and she was actually working for Vicky Vale.
Okay.
They were working, at the paper together. So, she was working under Vicky.
It's been like I said, 70s, late 80s or early 80s Batman. It's been a while since I read a bunch of it.
Yeah.
But Vicky must have made one hell of a salary as a newspaper reporter, because did you notice she lives in a penthouse with a damn personal gym in it?
She is basically the Lois Lane of reporters in Gotham.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. But
photographer,
Yeah, she was after Lois, so she's the Batman Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So
she did the Cordon Maltese and stuff. That place is scary. You not know if you're gonna come back from there.
Damn it. So Scarecrow here, he scares Alfred's daughter and kidnaps her ass.
Yeah, he's just hanging out like this in the shower, and then like boom. She's like startled, and he just goes boom.
Yeah,
and she faints.
So she was easy. Now, Bullock.
Alfred's not going to like that, but he's dead now, so that's okay.
A lot of the early issues, Bullock was still an ass.
Yeah,
but he's like a bumbling good guy here.
Mm-hmm.
This is contrary.
He always acted like an ass because he hated the whole vigilante Batman thing, but eventually came around. I didn't realize how old Bullock's character was.
Oh, dude, he goes back a long time.
He's been here since Gordon, since before, craziness.
Now, is it that long? I knew it was 70s at least.
Oh no, he was around in the 60s.
Oh damn.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up.
All right, so now we're gonna do trivia time. But yeah, so we switched to Bullock here, and Poison Ivy, she puts a damn plant there, and his ass goes to looks at it, and it does the Spock thing, only instead of him getting happy, he like passes out.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she ties him up and.
Nope, it wasn't the 60s. It was like early to mid 70s.
Yeah, I knew at least 70s.
Yeah, first appearance is Lieutenant Bullock, Detective Comics 441. Holy crap! Wow. That's the first Detective Comics I bought. I've got it over somewhere like over my shoulder. That's the one where Creeper's kicking Batman into the lion's den at the zoo.
That's the first appearance of Bullock?
That's the first appearance of Harvey Bullock.
Oh my God.
As Detective Harvey Bullock, his first appearance is in Batman 361 of 1983. But
that's the damn like the beginning of the Killer Croc stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because him and Jason Todd get into it. because Killer Croc, well, they talk about it here later. Killer Croc kills Jason's parents.
And on a side note, Bullock was, as Lieutenant Bullock, he was created by Archie Goodwin, the writer, and Howard Chaykin, the artist. As Detective Harley Bullock was created by Doug Mensch and Don Newton.
Oh, sweet. Newton is another good artist that should have been here.
Yeah, 100. But
so there's Poison Ivy kidnaps Bullock. Then at Vicky Vale's penthouse, almost at Lois Lane's penthouse, she opens the door. Riddle me this: why did the doorbell refuse to be silent? Boom, because it was a dumbbell. Dude, I do not remember this. I remember the spider guy, but only vaguely. He's like knocking off.
He hasn't been in very. He's basically like Shazam. Just before his license is about to run out, they have him like pop up like randomly in a Batman book.
Is that what it is?
The Black Tarantula, because I had like an early appearance of him, and I'm like,
who the hell is this?
Yeah, I was like, who's this? I go, it's not, and when you go back like years later, you're like, Deadshot has a new costume? No, it's not Deadshot.
Yeah, it's not Deadshot.
It's not Deadshot. It's not, Black Mask or any of these other like random guys. It's Black Tarantula. Which instead of making Will Smith Deadshot, they should have made him Black Tarantula.
In the damn movie.
Yeah, that way it would be easy to kill him off, after his slap in the face to Chris Rock.
Damn it. Now, I know this is the classic Riddler costume, but I think I like the new, like the Jim Lee Riddler costume so much better.
Yeah.
With the trench coat and everything. This is just ugly.
But they drew him like, not like the actor that played the original version of Mr. Adams in the Addams Family. But the guy, here's my Star Trek reference. The guy that was like the half black, half white guy.
Yeah.
On certain sides, and I can't remember. John something. Oh.
I thought it was Gorsh.
Yes, it was. It was Frank Gorsh.
Yes.
And so they draw him kind of like him there with like the receding Black Widow.
Yeah.
Widow's Peak hairline there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that was cool. And I really liked the way they did the Joker in this, because that was the Joker in the 80s. He had like the big purple trench coat and the fedora.
Yep.
And it was like so prominent, and like he's being classy but murderous all at the same time.
But murderous. So they capture Vicky Vale and they head off. So it's like, and 3. The first steps are completed. The master's plan proceeds. And now we get chapter 4, The Tempting. This, when I was young, was the chapter, and still, I just read it today, people. This to me is the standout chapter in the freaking book for the art. The next chapter that stands out is the bowling section, which is later.
Yeah.
But
so who's in creative control of chapter 3 here?
This is Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz, yeah.
Yes. But I mean, the thing is everyone else has been pretty standard. This is how Batman looks. And now he's brooding in the cave. So the change can be as to his mood. You can kind of explain it that way. But he looks so different. I mean, Batman doesn't look like this, but he does.
Now, the way he looks here,
yeah,
the way that Sienkiewicz drew him here reminds me a lot of what later became the classic look of the Norm Brayfogle Batman stuff.
Oh my God, yes, yeah. With the
and I didn't like I didn't like that look at first and what got me through that and used to it is I started liking the fact that he was in shadows more and more.
Yeah.
You know, because he would just like disappear behind Gordon's curtains and be gone.
Yeah, just disappear, gone.
Yeah, he's just gone. So he's more like use that part of the origin and inspiration of Batman that came from the shadow and put him back there. But a good portion of those stories, whether they were single issues or like 2 or 3 parters or whatever, that Breyfogle did, and maybe some of the longer ones that they adapted into trades.
Yeah, they're like
the stories on them were so good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get books that are like, you know, the artwork is beautiful, you know, like early Image stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't hold up. And it's like terrible writing. Dare I mention Rob Liefeld? Youngblood. You know, a lot of those early things, because they all had like such pretty, but anatomically incorrect body poses. And I mean, every time a new Liefeld book would come in from Image, we would play basically, you know, backseat bingo by going through and spotting how many different times the pouches were on the legs, off the legs, on the hip, off the hip. And you can see if like you did like X amount of pages and you sent them into the editor, or, you know, dropped them off at the offices, and then you went back to finish, you know, doing more pages, you know, after the weekend or whatever. You could understand that. But these would all be on the same page. He didn't draw them twice the same way. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Because the characters looked cool. Like, I can't remember what the guy's name, but the Archer in Youngblood was pretty badass looking. But it was like they all had plots of adult features, if you know what I mean.
Damn it. So the thing that got me here, I was reading it again, and like I said, read it earlier. The art stands out so much, but there's some other stuff here. I did not remember this from when I was little. So Batman's there, and here's the screak, and then snapped. So, and then there's like a plud right there on the desk. Something's been thrown across the cave and lands on the desk. And he looks at it. He's like, what the? And all of a sudden, here's Ra's al Ghul. Call it an omen. Ra's al Ghul goes into the damn cave. So he goes to the bat cave, catches a bat in the air, kills it, breaks its damn neck, and throws it at Batman.
Yeah, he goes all Ozzy Osbourne in the bat cave.
Yeah.
And what I did like here is the fact that the way he drew Raish wasn't you know, typical with like the little the Chinese beard strap thing.
Yeah.
The little 2 points, the way he looked basically in like all the movies and cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
They gave him like the full goatee.
Yeah.
And it was like all bushy and coming out. So for like 3 seconds, I thought about like buying a green and yellow cape and going to the next Comic-Con around here is Ra's al Ghul in a wheelchair looking for the Lazarus pit.
Damn it.
If only.
Yeah, the expressionist art though, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had this cool discussion here where, you know, apparently, and I want to go find this issue. He says, you know, but you're dead. Those were not my ashes you saw drifting from the spacecraft when last I died, detective. But I was forced to undergo a process even more remarkable than mere immersion in the Lazarus pit. When the hell was he in space? I don't remember this. So, yeah,
it was probably that storyline that he was either going to nuke the planet and start over, or he was going to poison the whole planet, because he'd done that before. The best story, I thought it was a great story. A lot of people didn't like it. Was Contagion.
Yeah, that was like Detective 700 or something, or Batman 700. Yeah,
like in the late 90s.
Yeah. And my physicians informed me that such additional resurrection brings me closer to the inevitable day when the Lazarus pit shall fail, closer to the one death that cannot be reversed. So Batman's like, so you admit you're mortal? I'm mortal, but I'm gonna outlive your ass. He said,
now you think that now in the beginning of the book,
yeah,
but by the end, you're like, man, you're making so many bad decisions. I'm gonna stop calling Talia the Demon's Head.
damn it.
And you Talia.
Oh, so yeah. He says, you sent me the message, know your foes. He's like, of course. He says, tonight I've let them all go. They all run free. And then Batman is like, dude, he's so pissed off right now. And he's imagining them all. That's been on some other stuff before. All of them. And the phone finally rings. Here it is. Here's your phone call. Answer it.
Hours later.
Yeah. Gordon picks up the phone. Explosions, Batman at Arkham and the state pen. They've escaped. Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Killer Croc, all of them. God help us, Batman. All of them. Yes, I know. Casualties, I see. And then Batman hangs it up, because he's only got a cord that long on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
You remember having it attached to the wall?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
That's I think why we've declined so much as a civilization.
Yeah.
We don't get that euphoric feeling of slamming the receiver down so hard that you ring the bell like you're doing a strongman challenge with a sledgehammer at the fair.
Can you see Batman sitting on the damn ground underneath the phone talking on it for a long time? Oh,
so anyway, Selena, twirling the cord.
So he's pissed off, like total 7 guards dead. All of my foes free to prey on Gotham, and you come saying you wish me no harm? Dude, I love the pointy feet. The pointy feet here on Batman are so freaking awesome. I have no idea why, but they are.
Now, did you see there was a video that I was sharing the crap out of it. It was kind of like an interview with like another big like podcast that's attached to a store. Like it's that store's podcast and it got like really popular.
No, I don't think I missed
they
that
paid
one.
for stuff. And Todd is sitting there and he's telling him, look, most of us can't draw feet. Which is why I would always draw Spider-Man running through tall grass. I love doing lizard episodes so I could put him in the marsh where his feet were either underwater or there, because none of us like drawing feet.
No, I didn't see that.
And I commented on it, and it blew up. Everybody was like defending the aforementioned Rob Liefeld. All I said on it was, "Wow, did he just throw Rob Liefeld under the bus? Can't draw feet." and then one day, Jim Lee drew the bottom of the boot of Batman and screwed everybody because now everybody's going to draw it.
Yeah, everybody's got to draw feet.
I'm like, oh my God.
But I mean, look at how, we've got the foreshortening, the extreme, like just the line work on that is just, this is always the standout section of this book for me. But now reading it again as an adult, I missed all this crap. So Roz is here not to let him know I've let all your villains out, but to let him know, hey, I've let all your villains out, and if you come work with me, I'll help you catch them all. And then if you want, we'll kill them all too.
Mm-hmm.
And Batman, of course, he's like, no, I'm not going to kill them all. I won't work with you. I'm not going to take your help, or anything. And then I'll catch you. And, but then he goes, what if, he says, what if I start with you? And Race tells him, he says, well, you can, but I'm the only one that knows the plan because I gave it to him. Yeah, you freed every last one of my arch enemies just so you could offer to kill them. Once they are eliminated, your obligation to Gotham would cease, freeing you to join me in the rest of the world. In the past, your sense of duty has prevented you from embracing me. Now, I sweetened the temptation by offering to release you from that duty. You're forgetting you may be the worst villain of all. Say, dude, it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, choose your world and I will simply fade away, leaving you down here in the unwashed evil. What stops me from starting the job right here and now and taking your ugly face in my hands and ripping it off your damn skull? I'm the only man in the world, detective, who knows what your enemies plan to do. Indeed, they are enacting a plan I gave them. Should you fail to stop them, I am the only man in the world who can avenge your death. So he's like, they're going to do it no matter what. And if you don't stop me or work with me, if you stop me, then they're just going to do it anyway. Oh, and one last thing, detective, happy anniversary. I love that he knocks the shit out of the penny and strides over it. He changes his mind. He's going to go after Race, and then he changes his mind and turns and goes to the elevator. But yeah, dude, that to me is just the most awesome part. Now we go Art Adams. Art Adams did a huge run of Batman and Detective back in the day at this time.
Oh, yeah.
And they were awesome ass books.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they're early for him, but dude, they were awesome.
Well, like in the early 70s, the thing that I loved most about it, and I can't remember what artist came up with it, because Dick Grayson Robin had left. He was in college.
Yeah.
So we would get some pretty cool pre-teen Titans, like Robin story backups.
Yeah.
Dealing with social issues on campuses and
when he was in college.
And I remember Aparo drawing him driving not as much a Batmobile, but it was basically like a dark blue or black with blue highlights, friggin' roofless Lamborghini with a roll bar in the back.
I have to hunt those down. I know I probably got them.
It's like early 70s, and I'm like, ooh. And at that time, I was just little. I was like, why doesn't it look the Batmobile on TV? But it's pretty neat. Clark, nobody says neat anymore. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So now Robin finds out that Batman tells him, Ra's al Ghul has freed all of my enemies, and we've got to go out and stop them. And we're going to go to find the Riddler. I do love this. After 10 minutes, after a 10-minute briefing at 75 miles per hour. Boy, that's back in the day. That was cruising right there, baby. 75 miles an hour. Yeah. So they head to the belly of
that's when our cars used to be made out of steel in fiberglass.
Yeah.
So we could like drive through a forest of redwoods and just chop them down as we went. It didn't matter.
Yeah. 75 miles an hour now would get his ass run over in downtown Atlanta. Belly of the whale. Yeah. This is a trap. I know it's a trap, Robin. That's why I'm going in. And then, back at the manor, there's an intruder at Wayne Manor. It's in the pantry. Alfred goes to check on it, and it's Killer Croc. Who I thought
you're having a bad day when your butler shits his pants.
Yeah, he picks him up and I guess chloroforms his ass out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I don't understand why the hell, you're important to Batman, but I'm just following orders. I want to see where it goes. And of course, here comes Batman, rushes in, and of course, there's the Riddler, which we knew he would be there, and Catman, Scarecrow,
mm-hmm.
Black Spider, I guess was his name.
Black Tarantula, yeah.
Black Tarantula and Poison Ivy. Black
Tarantula made me think that there was a DC crossover, because there was the other tarantula, but just plain tarantula, on the cover of the first issue of Spectacular Spider-Man back in the 70s.
Yeah, the other tarantula. Yeah, the red tarantula, regular one. So they all start like shooting poison darts at Batman. And of course, Batman and Robin are moving around, fighting and everything. Now, have you read the issue Robin's talking about here? When Scarecrow runs at him and he goes, "Oh, it's you again, Scarecrow. Then I guess you have learned from the first time I tangled. I'm too old for the boogeyman unless I choose to fall." This is from there's a Halloween issue of Batman where Scarecrow is after them all and they have to stop him. And it's this really famous scene where Batman cold cocks Scarecrow, but him and Robin get into it real bad in the issue. It's like one of the first villains that Jason fights. Dude, he beats the shit out of Catman.
I hate cats.
Wildcat should just show up and beat the hell out of Catman.
Yeah. But now they've like upped him to like a whole new level. They did back when like all the heroes disappeared.
Yeah.
And that way too long story arc when they brought the bad versions from Earth whatever over like Ultraman and all those characters.
Yeah.
They did a 6-issue miniseries that was fantastic, and Catman was in it. It was called Villains United.
Oh, I didn't read that.
It's a really good read.
Okay, I'll have to look it up then. So they Robin and Batman finally take them all out, and Riddler's like, hey, enough. You've made your point. You'll have this round, but we'll still answer the next bell. Like hell you will. Hear me out. If Black Spider and Catwoman are down for the count, you can have them. But before you try to put the rest of us away, there's something you should know. Our associates are holding 3 hostages in a location you'll never find. And right about now, a 4th captive should be arriving. They're in the custody of Killer Croc. And of course, it shows Robin stiffens because Croc killed his parents.
Yeah.
What hostages? Don't pretend to. I don't pretend to know why, Ra's al Ghul. All 4 of them are important to you. Their names. And he says Harvey Bullock, Vicky Vale, Julia, and Alfred Pennyworth. Get out. All 3 of you now. And Batman looks down. His whole face is in darkness.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming him. And of course they leave, and Catwoman has been kind of trailing them. And she's like, hey, look, I'm not into crime anymore, but I can do some crime fighting on my own. So she follows them when she sees them leave. And Batman has a mental breakdown here. He has a breakdown. He's on his damn knees, and Robin's like, get up. We got to do something. But we leave them there. And now we find out the Joker's actually doing his part of the deal, where they go and they've got this damn 60s or 50s, 60s shit. It's a big giant net they're going to drop over all the police headquarters and electrify it.
This is something right out of a TV show.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Where does he buy big giant Joker faces of himself to put on his vehicles? That's what I want.
Yeah, that, and then like I said, dude, this net, nobody has a net like this. The damn net would weigh so much the helicopter couldn't take off. I do remember Mad Hatter always having his mind powers, control of that. He actually, I guess he made him a contraption to actually knock the damn police guards out, or prison guards, police guards, whatever you want to call it. He knocks them out. The roof portion of the bar netting had better be well insulated, Joker, because if it's not, we've just electrified ourselves. And he puts like duct tape over the damn, he paints a big X over the bat signal.
And somehow that shows up. Look, I tried so many times to make a bat signal that would work.
Yeah.
None of them work.
No. It's like 20 miles away too.
Yeah.
Our artist was Tom Sutton and Ricardo Villagran. So Batman is still.
Villagran worked on a lot of Vertigo stuff in the day.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he had to be better then. This has got good. This section has got. It's got some good panels, but overall, it's very uneven.
Yeah.
I was not. So, while Batman's in the cave, Gordon actually calls and lets him know what the hell's going on. And the plan is, the demands, you rescue Gordon and the cops. If you fail to do it within 3 hours, I'll start killing them one by one at 5-minute intervals. And Batman's just like, it's over. Of course, here's where we get the cool part. Penguin is pissed off. What about the money? Ra's al Ghul insists that Batman would have a way of coming up with it. You're supposed to demand $10 million. Don't you see, Penguin? It's only because Ra's thinks that's what I want. But money's easy to get while the thrill for me has always been the game itself, going up against bats. He doesn't care about the money.
No.
He just wants to fight Batman. That's
literally because he's insane.
Yeah. But now the rest of the people are pissed off because they're like, no, dude, we wanted the damn money. That's the only reason we're doing this.
Yeah, you're going to screw it up for the rest of us. We're all supposed to get like 10 mil a piece.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're going to get nothing because you didn't even say anything about it. So Batman is just like freaking out. He's so upset. And then here comes Talia. Oh, it's too late for your help. No, don't you see? He's really trying to win you over to his side. And he's not even trying to use the Joker and the other surrogates to defeat you. He's trying to destroy you as a man and shatter your spirit once and for all, simply so he can smile and sure. You're here to help me, Talia. To the death, a better end than quitting. But why do you want to help? Is it because you love me? Yes. Yeah, that's why. And she's breaking with her dad at this point.
Yeah. Yes, beloved.
Yes. Now, this is kind of cool. We do find out here that Ra's was not saying smart enough because he's a super genius. He put little micro cameras on all the buttons and stuff for all the villains, and they're monitoring what the hell's going on. So he knows how the plan's proceeding.
He's just sitting back with a creepy adult beverage and watching his own personal pay-per-view. Yeah,
his creepy adult beverage. Summon my physicians that we may discuss the possibility of it going wrong. Dude, this is by Steve La Jolla, and he does the art and pencils here. This is a little weird, but it seems like Poison Ivy was like coming all on to Harvey Bullock.
A small itch scratched.
Yeah.
Think of that what you will.
Yeah, exactly. You free me, you'll show me. You mean untie you? And what would you do with your hands if they were somehow freed? Would you grab me roughly, Sergeant Bullock, and force me to submit to arrest?
Something like that.
Yeah, she's like teasing him and all kind of stuff while there's broken pottery shards as he's sweating because, good Lord, this woman's all on me. He finally gets himself cut. He cuts himself free. He heads at her, but she, knocks his ass out. But when she does, Catwoman manages to show up. She wants it.
Steve Bush, she wants it.
I guess. This is before her and Harley hook up. But yeah.
I mean, she turns around, bends over, and all you hear is, "Feed me, Seymour."
Oh my God. Damn it. Not safe for work. Not safe for work. Not safe for work. So Catwoman shows in to try and save Harvey. And damn Scarecrow just shows up and knocks the hell out of her.
Mm-hmm.
So now they've got all of them. The big sickening. All right. Joe Kubert does the art here. Andy Kubert is the letterer. And this is good, but I do not think that Kubert is the best Batman artist.
No. But this was a learning experience for very young Andrew at the time, who was probably in middle school in '86.
I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, and what we did, he did the Warlord issue, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
We read like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It was great.
Yeah, like 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah, he did the art on the Warlord issue, which was, fantastic, and that was, in this same time period.
Yeah. So here's Batman showing up. He shows up to Billy the Whale. I do love how he fat shames
Belly of the Whale.
Belly of the Whale. Yeah, he fat shames our man here, Stick.
Yeah, you need a new name.
Yeah, you need a new name. You
put a few pounds on.
Yeah. Damn, thanks a whole lot, asshole.
You used to be skinny and in shape. Hey, Round's a shape.
Right, exactly.
That's my Bart Simpson tagline there. Well, Round's a shape. I said that in a post from Graham Nolan on X today too.
Oh God.
He's like, eat healthy, exercise, live your best life. And I'm like, hey, Round's a shape.
Damn it. So
just like shaking his head.
Batman shows up and beats the hell out of all these patrons in this bar, where we find out that our man Stick, who's put on a few pounds, is selling dope. And he gets beaten with a damn oar, and finally Batman's like, come on, spill the beans. And he's talking to him. He breaks all of his damn shot glasses but one that he uses as a magnifying glass to try and figure out where this dirt that he saw, and I couldn't figure out how the hell the dirt ended up here. Where the dirt come from, because he saw it come off Poison Ivy's feet. So he's like, now I know where it is. And he heads off. Now we're next chapter 9. This is, who was our artist here? Oh, Ken Steacy. So Batman heads to the greenhouse because he knows Poison Ivy's not going to be at the other place, because that's the last time he fought her. She was there. He rushes in, frees Catwoman, and then they head off to go check on the other ones because they're eating, and they're like, fast food's treatment of vegetables is criminal. That reminds me of a riddle. What did the pickle say to the as Catwoman's cat of nine tails there whips that damn Big Mac into 3 pieces?
You know what's criminal? Fast food is criminal.
Exactly. Of course, they get into a huge fight, and the damn Killer Croc tries to break Batman's back. He literally picks him up, and he's beating the hell out of him. But good old Batman, in his bat utility belt, right beside the aspirin, he pulls out a damn capsule and knocks his ass out.
But somehow it knocks out Croc, but not him.
Yeah. It's because he took the bat antidote before he took the bat aspirin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. All right. He's got some cracked ribs. Call an ambulance for Alfred Pennyworth and the others. Meet me at the field beyond the orchards. It's big enough for a landing. Yeah, to get some bat wings. And now they head off. This is Leonardi. Leonardi did a lot of the Supergirl issues back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He was always pretty good. So they do lay up. Poor Killer Moth, dude, his dumb ass fires at a dummy and turns around. He's like, oh, this isn't Batman. It's a dummy. Well, where's the real Batman? Kicking the hell out of you when he shows right there, dumb butt.
That scene right there when he realizes it's just, a stuffed bat suit.
Yeah.
Last night on Tubi, I was watching The Raven with Vincent Price.
Oh,
and
okay.
At the end, they had the Wizard's duel, and he thought the evil magician, played by another infamous horror guy from back in the day.
Yeah.
Lunged like this giant spear.
Yeah.
Through him, and he thought he killed him. And he went up there, and as he opened it up, it's all stuffing like this. Vincent Price is actually on the chair floating above him. Batman 66 reference. Throwing eggs at the guy's head as they just...
Dang it.
Okay, back to our regular scheduled program.
But so Batman shows up, kicks the hell out of Killer Moth, and now Ra's al Ghul realizes he's actually going to catch all of these guys and save the people in the freaking prison. So, thus it must be done. For that which we all was a prelude, but it may kill you, master. Better to flee to fight another day. Suggest so again, and I shall kill you. Now prepare it. So Batman manages. They all manage to head in after Batman short circuits the damn helicopter and cuts the power off to the damn the cage that's over police headquarters. So Talia and Robin make it in, where they just start, attacking the rest of them themselves. What's cool here is the damn Joker actually turns on Mad Hatter and freaking Penguin and gasses their ass, but it's just regular laughing gas. He doesn't kill them. Where's it at? Oh yeah, come on, Talia. Me help you. This is Rich. Don't you realize that this master plan is Joker? Do you really think he's freed you out of the goodness of his heart? He wants to eliminate the competition and see you all dead. This his entire scheme, a way of doing it without even getting his own hands dirty, turning you against one another. And when the Joker hears that, he just gets pissed off. Mm-hmm. Joker went up to the roof. Yep. Kind of, he's going to give up a little bit.
He stole my balloons.
Yep. And Batman knocks his ass out. As ever, the master was correct. Even the Joker has fallen, and so our Lord must immerse himself. We did it, Batman. So did you. It's just the beginning. The archdemons have all followed, but now it's the devil itself. Catwoman, the nearest landing strip is the warehouse, is the wharf. Pick us up there. We're going straight to hell. And last, the Brian Boland story.
Under the Wind.
The Boland and the
Chapter 11.
Sienkiewicz are the best two stories in this book. So here,
where Ra's strips down and he's just got his codpiece on.
Now, the Lazarus Pits there's only like 7 or 8 of them in the world.
Yeah, and little by little over the course of this character, they've been destroyed little by little.
Yes. But now, here's the thing is, I thought they were always far away. But this is like damn near in the middle of Gotham City. Mm-hmm. You would have thought Batman would have found this one. It just happens to be in a damn cave underneath a windmill, a freaking mile from the damn penitentiary. All right, Raz, this is what for what you did to Arkham in the state prison. He blows a hole in the windmill and heads in. Dude, that art is freaking amazing. Mm-hmm. I wish Boland did so much more Inside World. I mean, I know his covers are amazing and his interior work is so good. We need to read a couple Boland Judge Dredd stories.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've read them, but I mean, I can go back and read them. Judge Death and Judge Child Quest. Oh my God, he's so good.
And I just watched the Carl Urban Judge Dredd like 2 nights ago.
Freaking rocks.
Yeah.
When he throws that damn dude off the damn balcony.
Mm-hmm. After he hit a puff of slow-mo.
Yeah. Talia, the master's daughter, she fights on the side of his greatest enemy. And of course, there bubbling is, in the Lazarus pit. And then here comes Ra's al Ghul. I am here, detective, and I have been reborn without dying. Thanks to you, demon, so have I. Perhaps so, detective. But unlike me, you have been reborn in spirit. This part always sticks in my head from when I read it because of the fight. I mean, some of the scenes are so good. I mean, this little part's cool, but the part here where his damn hand is broke and he brings his hand down on Batman's head and breaks his freaking arm. He breaks his arm at the damn elbow and damn near knocks Batman's ass out. Yeah. As they're fighting. Yeah. An earthquake. The windmill must be on a fault and the explosion triggered it. Many are the deaths I've known, detective, but all were natural ones, and no more so exhilarating than this. It is a sensation I insist you must share. Join me. He's gonna push Batman in the Lazarus pit, but nope, he manages to duck and throw his ass back in the Lazarus pit, and then of course it's bubbling, and he goes down, and the Batman hauls ass.
Mm-hmm.
He catches up with Catwoman and Talia.
And that was a classic pose because back then Bruce actually had to fight people. It wasn't like, in modern times they've literally turned Batman into One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Like nobody can lay a hand on him or anything. Here he's already got like 3 cracked or broken ribs.
Yes.
And he just uses Ra's insane momentum against himself.
To throw him in the damn water. Damn Lazarus pit.
Yep. Just kind of like a push and swing back and throw him head first into the pit, which is doing him no good because you're supposed to only use that
when you die. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course they haul ass, run, it's gonna swallow the windmill hole.
And that intense look on Jason's face.
Dude, there's not many people can get this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, a safe distance away, they watch it as it goes down. She leaves even as as the tremors subside back to hell, bearing her father home. I'm already sorry enough for the world. Epilogue. So Robin decides to blindfold all of the kidnap victims and Gordon and take them to the
including Alfred.
Yeah.
So he could play along with the others.
Yeah, play along to the Batcave for an anniversary birthday dinner or whatever of Batman. And, I guess they put 157 candles on the cake because there's so many you can't count them in the picture. Holy cripes, we're in the Batcave. And, here comes Batman. Happy anniversary. Looking like death warmed over. The aftershock from the quake. Giant stalactite falls in there. A single candle to mark the first night of a new beginning. He's all being like depressing and leaves. He goes off to brood.
Jason's like party pooper.
Yeah. And then he picks up a piece of the cake after the damn stalagmite messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
He eats it while the Batman broods above. And then we get our final page with the, Batman standing there and all the bats flying in there.
Yeah, you have Nocturne as former hitman, the original Clayface, Mr. Freeze, the twins there from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Two-Face, Black Mask, Dr. Phosphorus, and a couple other that I just don't remember right off the top.
Yeah, I can't remember them all myself. But hello again, beware forever. All right, and now the other 10 artists who we haven't seen. This is Grell. That's an awesome. I've seen that one's been used a couple times.
Yeah.
Kaluta.
Going into hell.
Dude, that's awesome. Wrightston, that's been used a million times.
Bernie Wrightson, yeah.
This one's been used a lot. This is the dude, Steve Rude. They made this into a poster back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the last part of the Why I Chose Batman story. It's a good 400 issue. It's a pretty good story. Some of it, reading it later than after it come out, as an adult, you see some of the holes in the plot and that kind of stuff.
Like the no telephone call earlier.
Yeah, the no telephone call earlier. The art's pretty good overall. I still don't understand why, like I said, I don't understand why Aparo wasn't in this book.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why Marshall Rogers was not in this book.
Yeah, they could have made it 2 pages longer and at least had them do like a pinup for it or something.
I mean, something. They were so important to Batman at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great book.
Yeah, I've got that 2-part, like very sought after Marshall Rogers 2-part story there with
the Laughing Fish.
The Laughing Fish, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, it was a great book. Like I said, there are parts that did stand out more to me. I remember the Sienkiewicz part from when I was little. That was just such a good part. Oh, you disappeared for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I meant to do that
Oh, okay.
to bring that up. I've got a couple of other Batman things and a little bit of comic book news too.
Oh, Lord.
So first, I'm going to bring up that one back to where am I? Here I am. Oh, share screen.
Good Lord.
This is a clip from Ethan Van Scriver talking about how boys and girls interact with characters, during like playtime. Whoops.
Batman. That's how boys fantasize. That's how boys play. Meanwhile, the little girls pick up Batman, and Batman becomes.
I'm trying to get this thing to go back, but it's like on a short form video.
Them. They project themselves onto Batman, and suddenly Batman is acting like they are. So now imagine you're a creative person who's writing Batman. Now men just go, okay, well, I'm going to write Batman as I know Batman. He's going to be Batman. He's not going to be me. I don't want to put myself into Batman. He's going to be Batman. I'm going to do the best Batman story I can do. These ladies, Batman starts getting sassy. They start to write Batman with more of their own traits. And soon, before you know it, these characters are unrecognizable. They're sitting around having coffee in bars and having chit chat. And I'm not saying all of them. There are some ladies who are great. Anne Nocenti, shout out. Louise Simonson, great writers. But many of them are just, projecting themselves onto these characters. And maybe it's because they really just don't care that much. Boys pick up Batman, pick up a little Batman figurine, and they become Batman. That's how boys fantasize. That's how boys play. Meanwhile, the little girls pick up Batman, and Batman becomes them.
And the longer form of that was he was talking about they got like 1,000 kids together, like 500 boys and 500 girls, and they went to a Lego test center where they put like a Batman Lego set in front of all the kids to see how boys and girls interacted. The majority of the girls didn't give a crap about the Legos.
Yeah.
And the ones that did were, like he said, doing a lot of, projecting themselves. And most of the boys, like, we would all become Batman. Hell, every year for Halloween, I dressed up as Batman.
Yeah.
But
always be yourself unless you can be Batman.
Exactly. Why? Well, because 1, you're a superhero. 2, you're a rich superhero. And you've always got the coolest car. The other one that I'm not going to bring up the article, but an old writer that we are familiar with from a lot of his indie work over like the last couple of years, Bill Willingham.
Yeah.
Has basically shocked the world.
Yeah.
And
given fables away.
Yep. So anybody can just grab anything from that book over like the last, 10, 12 years?
Dude, no, it's longer than that. It's like 20.
20-year run on that book?
Yeah.
I remember when it started, but, we are kind of old.
Yeah. I mean,
and
we're talking crap that won Eisner's.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's gone.
DC must be fuming.
Oh my God. I don't even know.
I'm wondering because he put it out there for public domain. Does that mean anybody can just get digital copies of that and print their own Fables omnibuses?
No, I'm not sure on that one. Yeah.
The other thing,
I have some of the Vertigo deluxe editions of Fables.
Mm-hmm. I read it for a while. It was good, and then like the story arc started kind of.
Well, I mean, anything you start, and it doesn't matter who you are, it's going to start
Yeah.
to teeter after a while.
Now, this next thing got me all sorts of pissed off.
Oh, Jesus.
One, I know he's the craziest creator on the planet still drawing breath, but I had always been a fan of Alan Moore
Yeah.
until this.
Oh, my God. Come on now.
Now, I'll still, it doesn't mean I'm going to take my Watchmen stuff and, you know, all these other indie books that he did and all this other stuff and just, you know, throw it in the trash or light it on fire or anything. But I thought this was, you know, even for a crazy statement from Alan Moore, I thought this was disgusting. This is from Bounding into Comics. Watchmen creator Alan Moore criticizes Frank Miller's work as sub-fascist, says his portrayal of Batman as a one-man hero in The Dark Knight Returns was a bit too Birth of a Nation for him. Do you know what Birth of a Nation is?
Yes.
Do you disagree with Alan Moore or do you agree with him on this?
No, I mean, you can see a little bit of what he's saying there, but it is not. There's no way you can compare that to Birth of a Nation. I mean, and the whole thing is I mean, Batman would do. That's like if you read. Oh my God, you read Kingdom Come. When we read Kingdom Come, you remember the part where in the future Batman's made Gotham safe by making it a freaking police state, and he's got the bat robots that swoop in on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, Dark Knight Returns is not that.
If anything, it's the opposite because he defeated the mutant leader and basically turned all those gang members into good guys.
And yeah, he tried to turn them into good guys. They all went around with the bat on. They put the bat on their head.
Yeah, they did the makeup for that. And an opinion that comes as little surprise given to to Alan's political rhetoric in recent years. Noted comic book writer Alan Moore has revealed that he considers fellow creator Frank Miller's body of work to be sub-fascist for his liking, particularly when it comes to his portrayal of Batman and his seminal work, Dark Knight Returns. The Watchmen and Tom Strong creator shared his thoughts on Miller during an interview given to UK-based news outlet The Telegraph. Speaking to The Telegraph, Jake Ketteridge, in promotion of his short story collection, Illuminations, recent paperback reprinting, Moore opened up about his liberal beliefs, beginning with a reflection on the fact that his value system was formed in the boroughs, an English neighborhood, which he describes as the most impoverished area of Northampton, England. Now, I know this because I've got the his fake biography. He basically went through a big interview with the author that wrote it, but I've had it for years. I've read like half of it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting. Although there was an astonishing sense of community. Nobody would rob anyone else because nobody had anything, he recalled. Because, this was during the years of the Depressions. So,
well, no, he's not that old. So we're talking 50s. This is after World War II, though.
Yeah. But, nobody was really rich, in the 60s or 70s. Not like today.
But seeing this has also got to be you would have to look at this too. Moore's British and Miller's American, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, they're coming from two completely different backgrounds.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, we're a separate people, or whatever. What is that old saying? We're separate people done by a separate language or something. I can't remember. Damn it, I'm getting old. Yeah, they're coming from different backgrounds completely.
Yeah.
I mean, Dark Knight Returns had a rise that, you could see it come out of the damn. I mean, Dirty Harry led to Dark Knight Returns and so much else. And, we were talking, strong on crime. Yeah, don't get us banned.
Yeah. Oops. Let's get that off the street. We'll go right to Batfleck.
Yeah, Batfleck. I'd have to read some more of that. I mean, and it could be, I don't want to be ugly too. It could be more just jiving for more publicity. What's he got? He's trying to drum up sales on his book that's fixing to be published. I don't know.
It was a book of his short stories that just recently got reprinted, like in paperback.
Yeah. I've never read any of his actual prose, just his comic work.
What did he say? Moore then noted that in this way, he felt himself the ideological opposite of the aforementioned Frank Miller. Well, because you're both from two different worlds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're completely different people.
But that kind of triggered me.
Dang it.
I was like,
Until you have a damn snicker and smile or something.
ow.
Oh.
My jaw keeps cracking my ear.
All right. So, being that you made us read that one, and it was a long one, for next week, you ready? Let me see. I'll show you this because I thought about it after we read it. There you go. Have you read that one?
Yep.
And it's very similar. It's got the whole multiple 50-year anniversary Detective 527 Batman meets Sherlock Holmes. And it's got all the stories in it. I love that freaking book.
Yet again, I don't know where my copy is. So send it over to me. Apparently, I will be reading another long-ass Bat book next week.
Dude, they came out at the same time, though. That's what, when you had to read that one, I was like, oh my God, really? It come out in, let me see what year it is. I just had it on here. Oh crap, my computer just changed. It's 10 o'clock.
It does that every night.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock. Yeah, March of 87. So 1 year after 86.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, I'll send it over and then, and I open next Thursday. So we can be back at our regular time.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Go read some comics, people.
Yeah, really. Where's my thingy? Where? There it is. So many buttons to press. Oh.
Old people.
Drug time. Come on, let's take your drugs.